Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about the process and the history of choosing the artist to do the presidential portrait. I was recently reading an article about who would be an interesting choice, very contemporary artists who would do something that is not traditional at all. And if you are aware of seeing most of the presidential portraits, they are very traditional. So from that article, I thought, well, I don't know anything about this process. I don't even know who the artists are that have painted other portraits or the history or anything like that. So I looked it up for you, and I'm going to now impart all the knowledge that I have learned to you in this video. So I hope you like it, and make sure you like and comment and share if you do. Gilbert Stuart was the artist who painted the portrait of George Washington, and that's where this tradition kicked off, and each president of the United States has had an official portrait taken during his time of office, and most commonly it's an oil painting. Now, photography has been used, but mainly as a tool for the painter to take a bunch of photographs of the president and then make a painting from those photographs. Now, presidents often display official portraits of other presidents that they admire in the Oval Office or elsewhere around the White House, loaned from the National Portrait Gallery. The presidential portrait of George Washington was famously rescued by the First Lady when the British burned down the White House in the War of 1812. The first female artist to have painted a portrait of a president was the portrait of William Mckinley, and this was in 1902 by Harriet Murray. In 1970, Jackie O commissioned a portrait of her late husband, John F. Kennedy, from artist Aaron Schlickner. And it's a striking difference between any of the other presidential portraits because of his gaze down. Critics have argued that it gives the president a sad and somber expression, and even might serve as a dark reminder of his death. The artist dismisses these claims and says all he wanted to do is portray a man who looked like he could think. Gerald Ford, who was president in 1974 to 1977, was the first president to commission his own official presidential portrait. Usually this is done by the First Lady or someone in his administration. Now, President Clinton was the first president to have his portrait painted by an African American artist, Simi Knox, which is mind-blowing because this was in 2001, and you would think that this would have happened a lot sooner in history. President Obama is a little bit unique in his official portrait because it hasn't yet come out. What happens normally is that the president following will present the former president's portrait in a ceremony. This has not yet happened. However, Obama has had several portraits done, none of which are the official presidential portrait. One portrait that kind of went viral on social media is this one of him in a tan suit, but this is not his official portrait. President Obama is also the first president to have a 3D portrait made and produced by the Smithsonian Institute. Now, President Trump has not had an official presidential portrait yet, though he has had several that have been made of him. There was one that he revealed on Twitter the day after his inauguration. What is also interesting is when you go into the president's role and what they can do within the White House. So when the president goes in, they can make changes to the artwork that hangs on the wall of the White House. However, any artwork that's in a public area has to be decided or changed by committee. The president just can't go in and change those in public areas, but in private areas, he can do so. Now, the White House does have a curator that is on staff, and one of their roles, it's either a curator or a decorator, or it even might be a friend that the president and first lady pick out. And one of their jobs that they get to do is go to the National Gallery of Art and choose work to be loaned to the White House, which I think sounds incredibly amazing to be able to do. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys really liked it and thought that it was as interesting as I did. Please remember, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so here, and you will just get one email every time I post a video, which lately it hasn't been very often, so you will not be bugged, I promise. And I will be posting more interesting art history videos. If you are a professional artist, I go into professional artist talks, and then I have some really interesting ideas that I will be posting soon. So make sure you stay tuned to that, and as always, thank you for watching.